Welcome to SUSD Spotlight, your go-to source for all things happening within the district. Whether it's celebrating student and staff achievements, delving into trending education topics, or highlighting inspiring human interest stories, we've got you covered. Join us as we illuminate the incredible endeavors taking place in our schools and forge connections within our community. Get ready to be informed, inspired, and engaged as we embark on this journey together, spotlighting the extraordinary in SUSD. Welcome to another episode of SUSD Spotlight. Today we're joined by Arcadia CTE teacher Shelley Alfieri-Brown and Arcadia student Easton as we explore the cutting-edge engineering and coding opportunities at Arcadia High School. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're excited to have you here, but for our listeners, can you maybe tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, so I've been with SUSD for only 3 years, but in those 3 years, we've done all kinds of things in my classroom, which is really great. I've been teaching for approximately 15 years, all tech, all day.
Okay, and where were you before Scottsdale?
Spain, at an international school. I was teaching over there abroad.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
And Easton?
Well, I'm Easton, 17 years old. I've been at Arcadia for all 3 years of high school currently. I'm a junior, and I was with the district since elementary school, but took a little pause during middle school.
Okay, great. So I'm interested in this engineering at Arcadia. Tell me a little bit about what's offered to our students and what makes it compelling for them to enroll. What are the unique opportunities they have?
So for engineering, year one, we actually explore between 12 to 15 different sectors in engineering. And with each sector, we research, right? And we learn, and then we build. So we build prosthetics when we're doing biomedical. We build genetic mutations when we're doing genetic engineering. We build houses and lights and circuits when we're doing electrical engineering. We do all kinds of stuff. And then year two, it gets a little heavier into the electrical engineering and just a little bit more complex. So right now, my engineering one are making floating houses. Wow. And it does have to have one light component, which is their solar panel. They have a solar panel, and they have to solder on the circuit for the LED to work. But when we get to engineering 2, they have to create this whole circuit with light sensors and I'm trying to think, sound sensors and just all kinds of things. So it just depends on which year they're in, what they're doing.
So Easton, are you in year 1, year 2?
I'm in year 2 right now.
So tell me why you chose to enroll in the class. What do you think of it?
It's definitely very interesting. I've always been a fan of engineering, especially growing up, mainly from video games actually, and then like consoles and computers. I just loved everything about it. And so when I saw Arcadia had an engineering class, I immediately signed up for it. I think it was the first class I was dedicated on. And then from there, I took a break between freshman and junior year, which is why I'm not in engineering 3 this year. But because I had to get an art credit, but it's definitely been the best class I've had at Arcadia. Freshman year was a little iffy because we went through a bunch of teachers, but I'm just glad Miss Alfieri is now teaching the class because it allows us to actually have a set plan and to definitely do a lot more than what we were doing before her.
It sounds like it's so relatable to the real world. Does that make the teaching and learning, that much more engaging or inspiring in the classroom?
Yeah, it definitely does. It's a lot easier to pay attention, get work done because I just feel more comfortable in the class. It doesn't feel like school to me, at least, when we're in there, so.
Does it help you identify what you want to do someday in the future, like a career path, whether it's in engineering or something else?
Yeah, it definitely has. Through engineering and whatnot and learning about the different types, I've found that mechanical engineering with just the mechanical aspect of it, that's probably been my favorite part about the class, and I enjoy just building stuff for those purposes.
Very cool.
So is all the learning done in the classroom, or do you have
Yes.
opportunities to engage with people and organizations outside of Arcadia?
Oh, these guys, they go all kinds of places. So engineering 1, their main field trip is to iFly.
Okay.
And they learn about all the physics and all of that stuff, and then they actually get to fly. Engineering 2 goes to Top Golf, and they learn about all this stuff regarding the flow of the ball and things of that nature, and then they get to play. And then we go to GCU. We have live lessons, so I have people come in. Theirs is in about 2 weeks. They come in and they teach them robotics, or they might teach them circuits. It just depends on what we're doing. And we also do college visits as well.
Okay.
So they're all over the place.
Does it make you stop to think like, wow, engineering is everywhere? Like you're at Top Golf, you might just be there for a good time, and then you start to think like all the different impacts that engineering has.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't even think about like the engineering aspect behind like a place like Top Golf or something, especially when I've been there in the past. But yeah, it definitely makes me more aware of just like how much the world relies on like engineering.
And so then there's also the tech component, coding and other things. When I think about Top Golf, and I always marvel at how you can track the flight of the ball and where it goes. I can never follow it if I'm watching in real time. But at Top Golf, I get a great video image. So do you do much with coding and helping students understand the interface between the tech world and the engineering world?
Yes, we started coding this year. So Easton is also in my coding class.
Okay.
We started coding at Arcadia year 1. They have been learning Python this year, and right now they're in game development, so they're creating games, actual games that people sit down and play. It's pretty cool in there. And so I like my students like Easton because they can take the coding piece, integrate it with our Arduinos, which is our engineering piece, and make it all happen. So, for instance, Easton was working on his living diorama. That's what they're working on right now, where it actually moves and lights up and all kinds of stuff. And he put his code in his Arduino board to make it move all on his own. Whereas my other students that are just in engineering, they may or may not know how to do that on their own. So
That's
it's
pretty
cool.
exciting.
Yeah, so they really complement one another.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
They go hand in hand.
And then are there opportunities to earn certs in this program as well, some different
Yes.
certifications?
Yeah, there's each one there's a lot of different ones. So but I can't name them all, but they have certs for data management, data analytics, project management. There's SolidWorks. We don't really work too much in that just yet, but we will. We kind of do more of Blender and things of that nature. But yes, so there's lots of certs that they can choose from, and I let them choose, and then they have a certain amount of time, and they need to work on their cert and get it done by a certain time.
So from a coding perspective, what do you like most about it? What do you think, its value is?
For coding, my favorite part is definitely just like being able to actually write the code, but then seeing it like work correctly, because especially a lot of the times it doesn't work first try, and it definitely takes quite a few attempts. But I don't know, I love it when I like can make something and then it like kind of like comes to life, I guess, and it's fascinated me. So yeah, and being able to then put that into like our engineering projects has also made them a lot more fun and engaging for sure.
So I also understand that you lead student government classes.
I
So
do.
Tell me about student leadership on the campus and how that fits with your passion for teaching.
I think student government allows my creative side to come out. I expect leadership in all of my classes, but in student government, I get to obviously do the leadership piece, but I get to see creativity come to light. Well, actually, you can see that in engineering and coding. It's a different type of
Right,
creativity, and I get to use that, so it's kind of a break from my technical classes, and it's a beautiful thing. The students really try to be good leaders on our campus. They try.
So what's special about the Arcadia campus? We have listeners from all over, and some might be wondering where they should go to high school. So why should they choose Arcadia?
Well, I think they should, just because Arcadia has a large, diverse amount of classes that you can take for sure. And I find it, at least when I'm like listening to my friends at other schools and whatnot, I just think Arcadia tends to be more like inclusive, I guess. And I also think we have a very amazing staff for sure. I think I like a lot of my teachers for sure, especially compared to schools I've been to in the past for like middle school. And I think it just makes the whole campus just more welcoming to students.
I think that's really important when families are considering where to go. When you think about the program that you're building, Shelley, what's the future of STEM at Arcadia? What other things do you envision are possible for our students to experience?
Oh my goodness. So I think I envision my coders getting more into robotics.
Okay.
And not just robotics, though, nanotechnology, cybersecurity. I mean, all those pieces that they need to, at least maybe they won't fully know that topic, but they can go to college and not be scared because it's too hard. I learned this. I know something about this. I see my engineers, I see us creating even bigger, better projects so for instance, my 3s, I want them to create something for the community. That's next year with my group that I have. I think we're going to tackle that. We're going to maybe go to the city, I'm not sure, and make a community project, not just a in-the-class-based project.
It sounds like the program provides opportunity for students to get their feet wet in a number of different areas and maybe then better identify a specific passion like mechanical engineering. Are there opportunities for internships, or do you have students pursuing that in the workforce even today?
Yes, I have my first internship next year. She's a 4, so she's fourth year. And then after next year, engineering 3 is going to go away, and it's going to be 1, 2, and then third year's internship. And the same with coding. It's 1, 2, third year's internship. So hopefully, not next year, but the year after, I should have several interns.
So I'm always interested in hearing from a student perspective how this class helps connect with the other academic courses you have. In particular, I'm thinking about math. And does it really make a difference when you're understanding why you had to learn something in math as it relates to what you're doing in engineering and coding?
Yeah, I think there's definitely a connection. I think for some of our projects, for sure, when it comes to like the mathematical part of it or physics part of it as well. So like freshman year, we made like a catapult, and we had to get it to land like in a specific spot. And so in order to do that, we had to use a bunch of math and like physics equations, which luckily enough I had learned at that point. So it made the project feel a lot easier. Instead of having to like learn all this new math, I was able to just like apply what I already knew to engineering.
I think that's the ultimate goal, is to help our students understand how what they're learning applies to other aspects of their life, whether it's their professional pursuits that they're looking forward to, or just being able to navigate the world around us and understand how things and why things work the way they do. So in our podcast at the end, I always like to ask my guests to think about a teacher who's made a difference in your life, someone who, and it can be at any point in your educational career, but I think teachers can truly make a difference, and we like to celebrate those teachers who've made a difference in the lives of our guests. And we'll start with you, Easton. Do you have a teacher you want to shout out?
I'll probably say Miss Alfieri, just because of the fact that without her, we wouldn't have the engineering program, because before it was definitely a lot more of a mess. So
that's good to know. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's Miss Bynum. I grew up overseas in Germany, and I really disliked history with a passion. I'm not sure why. I don't know. Maybe just because I was a teenager. But she made it better. She made me not want to give up and, pass with more than just a C, because I was just like, Miss Bynum, I just want to get through it. And she made it better.
Well, I think it's a really important point that teachers have the ability to unlock the benefit of something that a student may not see. And when a teacher invests in the lives of their students and creates creative opportunities. I love the things that we talked about in terms of both the hands-on projects in your class plus the other things that the students get to experience outside. It reflects what we hope for in all of our classes. We want our learning to be engaging. We want our students to be successful, find their passion. And so it's been exciting to learn more about the programs at Arcadia, and I look forward to hearing more in the future. Thank you both for joining us.
And we appreciate all of our listeners who joined us for this episode of SUSD Spotlight. And we hope that you will join us for future episodes and pitch us ideas for future episodes on our website, susd.org/spotlight.